I had no audio. I'm sorry about that. I was supposed to be talking you through the stuff, but thanks for sticking it through for those who have. Yeah. So we're just gonna continue where we left off. Hopefully those that stuck it through, it makes enough sense, I think. The idea is just to kind of create a table component that encapsulates a lot of the things around headers and allows you to do things like sorting and things like that in the table headers. And it's a reusable component for things like CRUD pages. That's kind of just the idea of it. So at the moment, what we've got when we look at the table, we've got table over here. So we've got things that with a sort key, sort direction. This allows us to do this sort of thing in name, where we can sort up and down name. But what we need now is we need a way to communicate back to the component that's using the table that these sort of things have changed, that the sort keys and things have changed, and then that would allow the caller of the table to update the items that gets listed in the table. Basically just these items. So these items are just that. What we're going to do is we're just going to write a very simple sort function that sorts through the stuff by ID and name. And yeah, that's about going to be it. And then we're just going to have some sort of callback here with a table that says function or something like on table change. That's going to be a function that takes a sort key with a string and then just like a sort direction, which is going to be a sort direction. Interesting. So there's a sort direction in React types. Interesting. Anyway, I should just use the sort direction everywhere then, because we haven't been using it. So if we go back to our table and we say, but I also don't really want to use the whole sort direction. I just want the ascending and descending, because that's kind of what the databases normally use. And yeah, I know that in most cases you probably, in some cases you're not going to use the database, but in a lot of the cases you should probably sort R. So I'm just going to do it like a sort direction over here. We can export. This is going to be an ascending or descending, right? And then everywhere where we want ascending, descending is we can just say sort direction over here. Okay, and then over this context is we need to create a that's fine. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, we don't need to change it here, and we need to change something. Get some better typing information. Okay. Don't have to change it. I have to change this. Don't have to change that. Don't have to change that. Don't have to change that. That. We've kind of got it down. And then we've got the, okay, we're going to drop that sort of direction. We're going to say, that, okay. Okay, part of what this means is that we need to make items reactive. I'm going to use state. And allow it to default to what we currently already have here. And we're just going to drop that. Okay. Next thing we need to do is we need to do something like on change equals on table change, right? We've kind of got like the signature for what this function should do. What we're going to do now is just, sorry about that, wrong key. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got the table over somewhere near. All right, so we got the table over there. So with the table props, we need to say that, okay, we've got a function called onChange that takes a sort key which has a type string and a sort direction of type sort direction. And this is going to, for now, just return a void. What we're going to do now is just close up this. So I want to see if what we've got here works. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to say new items. Why is it? Okay, so let's see. A sort key bigger than B sort key. Not a great fit, but let's see what this does. Okay, so let's see. Argument type A B really is not so much to say. Unexpected any argument. How they just the problem we currently have is that nothing gets displayed there. Let's just figure out this part. Expected any specific and specified different types. Okay, so argument type any boolean is not assignable to parameter of type ID. Okay, so they actually don't. You know what these types are. Implicit element because the syntax goes something like this. It's not great this the way that it's written. Maybe it will work for now. And then we can just get to it in a little bit. Because I'm probably gonna have to do something like check whether the properties actually exist on the things, which is, I mean, it's a completely valid thing to do. It's completely reasonable. What to say I need to do that? But for now, what I want to do is just be able to show that that if I sort by the name, that it changes. Let's get back to that in a bit. Let's just get this working. Okay, so we've got update or brand. That's fine. Okay, so this is the header. This is the actual data. So this is table row, table column. do I actually even have the... And then no, I don't. Okay. So this table column, for some reason, not getting displayed. Okay. What I can do is I can say, well, let's see what the assumption is, and something over here is broken in this logic that says whether the ID. Okay. Breakpoint MD. Breakpoint pause end. Okay. There we go. This is the problem. Here we go. Problem solved. Drop my debug statements. Again. Prettiness. Okay. The next thing we want to do, I think, in this is saying that if sort direction because basically we are going to need two conditions: one for when the direction, for when it's unsetting, and the one for when it's not. That's hoping that was going to work. It doesn't. Big reason why we doesn't is probably because we still have to do the call to actually update the state, to actually run that piece of function, and we're going to say current sort key, current sort direction equals, and then say on this call on change with the current sort key and current something to that effect. Similar, okay. Okay. So, why do we still have that? That's the one that's offering stuff. Get rid of that. So there's another property now, which means I'll also have to destruct children. Go. Okay, so that's fine-ish for now. Let's see. Big thing we need to figure out now if we're actually calling this on. Okay. Interesting. And we'll see if using callback makes any difference to this. Mm. Okay. Okay, so let's start doing something about this. So let's do something about all these warnings. Okay. Boolean is not assigned parameter of type. Mm. So the problem is this unknown might be, well, a few things. Okay. Let's just sort the right place. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't matter what I do. It's just for now, assuming we're only going to deal with strings. So it's just going to make the logic and stuff a bit easier. Okay, so let's do console info A, right, and then console.info B. What we're going to do is we're going to go console.info. I think I know what's going on. Let's think if this isn't blank, then I think at first running goes whoop, blank. Pear, apple. Let's see, JavaScript for what? Let's see a bit about if there's anything different we can find. Okay. So basically what we're looking for is for Apple and Pay to swap places. For some reason, not happening. Interesting. No. Supposed to be one problem. There we go. So it was a logic issue, not a... What was it? Okay. No. No. Okay, so long story short, what I need to do is I need to essentially write about a better function. But long story short, we can actually now sort by using this callback, and then with that, I'll leave you. And thank you again for watching. Goodbye.